Hey, it's Coach Justin from Ultimate Baseball Training. In this video, I'm going to share with you the top hitting grip mistakes. Now, grip, it's one of those things, I know it's basic, it's fundamental, it's simple, it's easy, right? But a lot of times I think it's so basic, so fundamental, so simple and easy that we tend to forget about it. And we can sometimes fall into some bad habits. We start worrying about other components of hitting, and those are important. But I think grip and the fundamentals, it's always important to revisit that. Make sure that your grip is helping you to achieve success at the plate, not hindering you and holding you back. All right, so let's talk about grip, some of the common mistakes. Let's make sure you're gripping the bat the right way for maximum bat control, bat speed, power, exit velocity, all that good stuff. So the first grip mistake is holding the bat deep in your palms instead of out in your fingers, all right? And this is a common one, and it's easy to fall into this trap of you think you're holding the bat nice and loose and out in your fingers, but then, over time, it gradually starts to work its way back deep into your hand, into your palm. We want to make sure we avoid that, okay? You have more bat control when you hold the baseball bat out in your fingers. And a great way to think of it, I want you to imagine that you're hammering a nail with a hammer. So instead of your baseball bat, you're hammering a nail. So take your top hand. For a right-handed hitter, take your right hand and act like this is a hammer and you're going to hammer a nail, okay? So do that, and you'll notice that when I do that and I open up my hand here, where is my grip? I'm holding the bat out of my fingers. You don't want it out in your fingertips like this, but you want it out in your fingers. You don't want it deep in your palm. And when you use that hammer example that I just used, you naturally hold the bat out in your fingers. Why do you not hammer a nail by holding the hammer deep in your palm like this? Because you have less control, right? You have more control in your fingers. So don't you want that same type of control with your baseball bat? Obviously, right? So hold the bat out in your fingers. That's going to make a big time difference in not only your bat control, but you're going to have better bat speed and better power because of, doing this as well. So just make sure, I know it's simple, I know it's fundamental, but make sure, am I holding the bat out in my fingers, or over time have I kind of allowed it to drift back into my palm? Another big grip mistake, this has nothing to do with alignment or anything like that. We'll talk about alignment in just a second, but it's simply squeezing the bat too tight, squeezing the sawdust out of the bat. And I'll start by saying that I think hitters, their mindset is in the right spot here. Why do they tend to, squeeze the bat a little bit too tight? It's because they want to crush the ball, right? They want to have good bat speed, and they want to hit the ball hard somewhere, and they want to have lots of power, so that's awesome. But physically with your grip and physically with your body, you've got to stay relaxed. So I think it's important, a great mindset to have is physically, you're breathing, you're nice, you're loose, you're relaxed. Mentally though, up top, mentally, you are ready to go. You have that attack mentality. You're trying to crush the baseball. But the problem that we get into is when mentally we're saying, okay, I've got to crush this pitch. And because of that, it causes our grip to tighten. Because the tenser you are, the more tight that you squeeze the bat, the slower your muscles are going to be. We want to be loose. We want to be fast, right? So loose and relaxed muscles, that's what produces that speed, not, tense muscles, okay? So remember that physically, you've got to stay nice and loose and relaxed. Mentally, you've got to be locked in, ready to go. And I think that squeezing the sawdust out of the bat, last thing I'll say on this is I think that it tends to have a negative domino effect, because if your grip is too tight, then all of a sudden you're going to have tight shoulders standing there in the box. And then all of a sudden the rest of your body is going to get tight. And as we just talked about, tight muscles don't really work well. You've got to stay loose, you've got to stay relaxed. So just make sure, your grip is naturally going to tighten up at the point of contact when it needs to tighten up without you needing to think about it. So you just need to, not super loosey-goosey where the bat's falling out of your hands. You still want to obviously hold it, but, hold it with, just make sure you're not squeezing the bat too tight, and understand that at the point of contact when it matters, your grip, your body's going to naturally tense up, all right? And then the last tip for today's video is going beyond the extremes. That's a mistake, to go beyond the extremes. And what I mean by that, typically there are two schools of thought when it comes to grip, right? You hear align your door knocking knuckles, that's one of them, and then you hear the box grip. So aligning your door knocking knuckles is just as it sounds. If you were to knock on your next door neighbor's door, you align those knuckles that would hit the door. So the door knocking knuckles grip would look something like this, okay? So that's one school of thought. The other school of thought is the box grip. So if I were to shift my hands just a little bit here, now you see how that grip there kind of creates a box just like that. Now, I think you should avoid the extremes and especially going beyond the extremes. I think if aligning your door knocking knuckles is comfortable for you, fine. If box grip is comfortable for you, that's fine too. But we get into trouble when I feel like a lot of hitters will hyper align their door knocking knuckles like this. And if you get into a stance, does not look comfortable, and this is definitely not comfortable. And you know, if you're a hitter that likes to hit with your back elbow up a little bit, having your door knocking knuckles aligned or hyper aligned like this is gonna make that uncomfortable too. So I think that, I mean, aligning your door knocking knuckles is fine. I wouldn't go beyond that extreme. And then the box grip. Box grip is comfortable for some players too. So it's important to do what works for you. But the box grip, if I open up my hand here, a lot of the times I have a tendency with the box grip to hold the bat too deep in my palms, and obviously we want to avoid that. And then if you take the box grip too far and you start wrapping the bat like this, then it's going to make it very, very hard for you to keep your bat on plane with the pitch and get palm up, palm down at the point of contact. So I think personally, you've got the box grip, you've got the, you know, aligning your door knocking knuckles. I think somewhere a happy medium in between those is ideal. But again, I want to stress the importance. Do what works for you. If the door knocking knuckles does what works, if that's what works for you, use it. If the box grip works for you, use it. But just make sure you're avoiding the extremes of wrapping the bat like this, going beyond the box grip, or, you know, hyper aligning your door knocking knuckles. And then follow all the other tips that we talked about in today's video, and you'll have a great grip with lots of bat control and lots of bat speed. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. And really quickly, if you're serious about taking your hitting to the next level, I got something for you. It's a 100% free resource. I really think it's going to help you out. It's called the Contact Point Checklist. What I've done is I've freeze framed the swing at the point of contact. That way you can freeze your swing at the point of contact and you can see how you stack up. I point out specific things you should be looking for in your swing at the point of contact. I think it's going to help you become a better hitter, and it's 100% free. All you have to do to download that is just click on the link down below in the description. I'll also put the link in the comment section so you can find it there. If you thought this video was helpful, please leave a like. I'd really appreciate that. And subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe. That way you never miss any upcoming videos we're coming out with on a weekly basis.